just been told we have 10 minutes for the panel, so let us run through it, all right? So our panel topic, as you can see, is accelerating renewable energy growth, commercial and industrial and residential sector investments and partnerships for a net zero energy future. I have a full panel here of gentlemen very experienced in the industry. And of course, this is an important topic in view of the global targets for net zero future since the Paris Agreement in 2015. So of course, to give you some figures, actually, solar is still less than 5% of energy globally. Solar has grown 26 times in the last decade and currently is around 1,000 gigawatts. But based on the net zero scenarios, the International Energy Agency and the IRENA, the cumulative installed capacity for solar should reach 5,000 gigawatts by 2030. So the pace at which solar is growing should be a lot quicker, actually, should be 3 times the pace than currently. So the question for us here is really, why isn't solar growing faster and renewable energy growing faster? And how can we really accelerate this growth to get to net zero targets faster? So let me introduce my panelists here. So I have Nimsawang.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Kish from the BECIS. I have more than 20 years of the energy experience. And BECIS is like energy as a service company. We do solar PPA, energy as a service, and energy solutions, and battery energy to cover our to support our client to be like a net zero. Nice to meet you all.
Next, we have Daryl Lai, Regional Director, Regional Lead from Ditrolic Energy.
Hi, nice to meet you all. My name is Daryl. I'm from Ditrolic Energy. I'm the Regional Lead for the CNI segment. So a brief on Ditrolic Energy is that we are an integrated company, integrated clean energy company where we actually assist our clients and our partners to achieve a net zero to assist our customers to achieve their net zero endeavors.
Next up, we have Jack Tan, who is the Group Vice President of Solarvest Holdings. I think his colleague was on the panel earlier. So Jack, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Jack Harris. I'm from Solarvest. I'm the Group Vice President. I'm taking care of global sales, marketing, and assets as well. So what Solarvest do, we have, as a clean energy experts, we involve more than just solar, wind, green hydrogens, energy efficiency, carbon markets, and also EV mobility as well. We have powered up more than 1,000 projects and more than 1.5 gigawatt in 8 different countries as well. Thank you.
Yes, hi everyone, and my name is Caleb Hall. I primarily had experience in the US and am new in the Southeast Asia, Thailand market, where I see so much potential. I'm the Senior Business Development Manager for AT Energy, and we handle permitting, inspections, O&M for both local and international developers.
Thank you so much, everyone. And myself, Nathalie Risteau. I'm actually director and co-founder of Sunollo. Sunollo actually focuses on enabling sustainability for each consumer on individual level. And I've been in the renewable industry for nearly 10 years now, so it's my pleasure to moderate the session today. Thank you. Thank you to Energy Box for enabling this event as well. And Bruce, of course. Big shout out. So as already mentioned, in view of the global urgency for renewable power deployment, my first question to the panelists here would be, what are the main barriers or challenges for distributed solar power deployment in this region? And why aren't we moving faster on this currently? I think probably Kitch would be the next person to pick it up.
Yes, I think support from the authority and government is the key importance. It's like if you are working on the solar PPA in Thailand, you will see that many of the license and permit that you have to obtain, like it take easily 6 months without doing anything. So this is the key challenge, and also like if they are open for the direct access, which the government plan to announce this soon. So it's going to be like a game changer that everyone can like begin the risk of the curtailment if we install more than the consumption. And also it's like some of the requirement from the engineering aspect is like everyone should facing right now for the CNI. It's like about the lifeboat of the roof structure. This can like prolong the process even longer. It's like they require a double lifeboat, and then if we do like roof strengthening, it's going to interrupt of the client production process. It's make the client even think harder whether they should do isolation or not. So that's the thing is the main challenge here.
Right, thank you. Perhaps Caleb can comment on this as well.
Yeah, so I think there's still a lot of misconceptions about the price of solar and battery. And I've even heard those misconceptions reiterated today by people who are in the industry. You know, the idea that solar and batteries are expensive is just simply not true anymore. Yes, that was the case 10, 20 years ago as things were just starting to blossom. But in the last 5 years, the price of both, including the battery, has dropped significantly. And when you look at the total cost, which is really what you have to do in this case, the same way when you would buy a car, if you look at a gas car and an electric car, and the electric car is $10,000 more, but you don't have oil changes, you don't have to buy gas, then in reality, the total cost of the electric car is significantly less expensive than both solar than the gas car, and it's the same case with solar and battery. So, I would really just encourage people to not reiterate this myth that solar and battery is expensive, because it's just simply not true anymore.
I think you're right. The technology has really enabled faster deployment for all of us in this field. And I think one connecting point here that we could mention also on the regulatory framework, right? Because we all work across the region in different markets. So if I can ask you, what are the main enablers in terms of regulatory in your markets? Probably Jack, you can also comment on this in Malaysia and across the region.
I think as we're talking about green energy adoptions, it's always policy driven. As there's a very good topic that now more and more countries has committed to net zero, like Thailand also one of the countries that 2050 they set a net zero about this. So when talking of net zero, we're talking of not really install solar on the rooftop itself, where the customer and the country itself, how they drive net zero. We need to have a policy such as where they just rooftop solar, and how they, when they have assets data, asset energy, export to market, they have a small market to be take up these green energies like Taiwan, like Singapore. Third-party assets, I think one of it, we can build up a solar farm, then through virtual PPA or third-party assets policy will help to establish the green energy market as well. And definitely the kind of the tax incentive for the manufacturers that people will do for battery storage, green hydrogens, and or people will invest in production itself, also have green investment itself has certain of tax benefits. I think that it will suit the whole adoption for green energy as well.
Thank you. Now, we're also in an industry where collaboration is very important in order to grow this entire field faster, right? Because of the urgency worldwide, right? We are very sure that now we are on that path where we are actually the temperatures are rising a lot faster than initially predicted. So in terms of collaborations, what can we create together? We are coming from the industry. Perhaps we can have some partners from the government, as we mentioned, regulatory. Any other stakeholders that you think that can help us accelerate?
Okay, I can take this. I think the key stakeholder is our supplier and the contractor as well. Suppliers is the key important to support for the project, as they can like implement the new technology, and also it's like the knowledge and know-how to the developer to present the new thing to the client in order to achieve the zero and net zero goal. And also government part is also important to develop the project in the Thailand also. It's like and also the customer. As a developer, we have to communicate to the client and also the authorities in order to align that we can support for the projects in order to complete installation and successfully for the COD. We have some lesson learned that some of the clients located in the green zoning area that we need to discuss with the authority that how do we construct the project, and we have to go to like ERC to understand that this project we got exempt in terms of the government policy, and we try to explain to the authority, and finally they get agree, and client also is main driver to help communicate to the authority as well, not only the developer, the client itself have to support for the project as well. And finally, we got the same alignment and direction, and the project is successfully sealed.
Great, thank you for sharing. Daryl, would you like to add anything on that in terms of collaborations in the industry?
Yeah, sure. In terms of collaboration, there are a lot of methods of collaboration that we can think of. I'll keep it short. So, in general, I would say the collaborations that we can see is to bring the funds and the technical expertise together. So, every companies, every personnel, they do have their own expertise, whether it's funding, whether it's technicalities, the local regulatory requirements, and all. So when we talk about collaboration, obviously we can bring this together, and this could actually be a form of collaboration. Apart from that, with the government agencies, I think the local government they need to understand how the local players are actually the problems and also the issues that are faced by the local players. So when we are talking about a policy-driven industry like this, we have to really, tell the government on the policy, or at least the policy makers, to make sure that they understand what are the policies, the incentives that are suitable for the industry. And obviously, because these policies will eventually affect other livelihood of the people as well. So, end of the day, this is what we need to work together with the government to ensure, or the policymakers to ensure that people are benefiting from this installation or even the industry.
Thank you. I think we agree that collaborations are really crucial in this sector for us to accelerate the growth. And at the same time, we talked about technology, that technology is really an enabler, once again, to move faster, and it's actually the backbone of the industry, right? So can you also talk about how technology is driving efficiency, and what recent innovations in particular perhaps have touched your growth in your particular markets? Not sure who would like to go next. Thanks, Caleb.
I think the gentleman that gave the presentation from Goodway a minute ago, I think that was a perfect example when you saw, what they have for inverters from residential all up to commercial. Same thing with the battery storage. They mentioned, I think I saw the VPP program, which, if anyone's not familiar, is the virtual power plant, which is a complete game changer. And just being able to have, it seems like every company now is doing this, the app on the phone to really manage and see what's happening down to the minute with your system. I think that makes it so much easier for both the end user to understand, and then use that as an example and show to other potential clients, like, look how easy this is, look how much we're offsetting, look at what we're saving. You can literally do that now with an app on the phone. It's incredible. So.
Anyone would like to add on to this? Please.
Yeah, I would like to add on the energy storage as well. With the recent development of solar energy, especially in a more developed country, we can see that that curve is actually happening in the grid. So this could potentially be a loss, as the grid only likes a constant kind of generation. So when there is a dip in the generation, the cost of energy towards the grid owners or the operators, they will have a higher cost. So this cost will actually be transferred back to the users, including residentials and even poorer peoples. So with this, when we look at this energy storage, it could potentially be a way of firming up the energy to ensure there is no such dip that would occur in the grid. So with this, actually, what we can really see is that it doesn't only impact the grid, but actually the impact is actually towards all of the users of electricity as well.
Thank you. Now I have a question on residential solar, right? Because we are talking about here not only commercial and industrial, but also residential, since this is distributed energy generation. So actually the residential solar market has seen tremendous growth in Europe, in the US, and Australia. And according to the International Energy Agency, there's an estimate that there will be 100 million homes with solar by 2030 and 250 million homes by 2050. So for those of you who are playing in this market, can you talk about the unique challenges and opportunities which exist in it? And also, how can we encourage more investments in this sector?
Maybe I take these questions. When talking about residential homes and also some of the factories itself, especially on the small factory, when they want to adopt on green energy, especially for home usage, they need to upfront a lot of money. Those kind of cash upfront may be quite heavy for them, although the energy cost investment for solar dropped, I think in the past few years dropped more than 50% about this. So I think that we need a certain kind of financing scheme to let them to adopt this, to help them to speed it up. And others easier ways that maybe policy driven is become a certain of tax benefit in income tax reduction to help them for adopt about this is good. And second about this is always when you want to develop the market itself, they want to set from the government policy. Second is big corporations and developers. Then lastly, only home user. So if we can develop the program with the developer itself, like for example, for a certain country, they benefit for that. Then the developer who design the EV ready homes, the solar ready home for them. When they buy a house, they come with like 20, 30 years of their mortgage financing already adopt with energy, with solar energy. Then the whole market is more easier to be developed rather than they spend one-to-one home user to adopt this, even like 50, 100 million home about this.
Yeah, I agree, Jack. Financing is a huge part about getting more residential people to adopt solar. One thing that we did in the US that was very successful was, and this goes with the collaboration and partnership too, was we had these group buying programs. It's very famously named in the US. It's called a Solarized program. And what it is essentially is it's a nonprofit and or a government. They come in and they say, okay, we want to have 100 people or 200 people adopt solar, and so we are going to vet all of the solar companies. So when you have the government or nonprofits vetting the solar companies, it takes a lot of the question out of the mind of the end user, because that's another problem that we have is there's just not as much trust as there used to be. There's fears. The customers are not sure about the solar installer, how legitimate they are. So when you have a government or nonprofit organization who is vetting these companies for you and then doing the marketing for them, saying, hey, we've done the marketing for you. You don't have to go out and talk to 3 different solar companies because we've done that already. And on top of it, they're going to offer a 10 to 20% discount because this company now knows they're going to get 100 to 200 jobs. So it lowers the overall cost, it removes a lot of the fear, and it's really a winning strategy, I think, that can be used in Thailand or Southeast Asia as well.
Thank you, that's very interesting. I think we can learn from examples in other markets and accelerate the growth in this region as well. It's very important. So, because we are very short of time, I'd like to ask our panelists for a 30-second conclusion, each of you.
I think from my key takeaways, like to understand the government requirement at the beginning and ensure that we get all the information given from the client is very key important to ensure that the project can be happen, and also not just only the solar can help the client to meet the net zero goal. So ESS is come into the picture, and also apart from this, it's like we have to do like energy efficiency assessment at the client also to see that which equipment that can be optimized in order to reduce the electricity consumption, and which is the main cause of the carbon emission.
Yeah, for me, I would like to say that when we are in this industry, we are looking at not only the renewable energy, we are also looking at the livelihood, the ESG. So in terms of ESG, we need to be aware on the impact of the things that we are doing. Obviously, solar is definitely, or renewable energy is definitely one of the key points, but we need to ensure that whatever that we do, we look at the impact other than the savings or the energy that is generated.
Yeah, my comment is, in the conclusion, I think that all of us is driving clean energy and green energy. At the same time, we also need to understand how we connect each other for all the supply chains for clean energy to uplift the lifestyle of the quality of making it sustainability for everyone. Then it only sustainable rather than we focus on only cost saving, only fundamental fund or fundamental of efficiency of the product. If we can connect everything together, then we can create a sustainable market for the industry and also for the global market.
Last thing I want to say is quite a positive note is I think the targets that we saw in the morning of 2050, I think everyone's going to be greatly surprised at how those get accelerated. I think the adoption rates are happening so much faster in other countries, and Thailand is not going to want to fall behind when they see other countries that are doing it by 2030, 2035, and Thailand is saying 2050. So I would just be prepared for some acceleration in your renewable energy plans, and I think that's good for all of us here.
Thank you so much, everyone. I just say a couple of words to conclude the panel. Of course, you know, the urgency for action cannot be overstated, because the global installed solar PV capacity will surpass 1,200 gigawatts by 2025. And distributed solar PV is 40% of that capacity. So, you know, this morning we talked a lot about utility scale projects. We talked about CNI projects. We talked about residential projects. So all these projects, they come together to create a net zero energy future for generations to come. So, and I think, of course, all our panelists here with combined experience over 50 years in this sector, everyone has highlighted the importance of investments, collaborations, innovation, technology, and partnerships, right, in driving this growth. So, of course, you know, in our region, the difficult part is that it's pretty much a mosaic of various regulations, various countries, and the distributed solar energy is difficult to grow because we have to ensure grid stability, we have to manage multiple smaller scale installations, so that involves meticulous planning, and it's probably more challenging than managing one big scale utility plant, right? Imagine if you have a 100 megawatt utility scale plant and you have 100 CNI projects to match the same number. And of course, residential is a lot more, right? We are talking about 10 kilowatts. But as the future is unfolding, we need everyone to come together, and we have to really be strong and work on various metrics, as we stated in this panel, and make a sustainable impact for the future. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nathalie, for being our moderator and also our distinguished.
Perhaps we can take a picture.
Yes,
together.
all right.